Hello and welcome to another lovely edition of the program Teaching and Learning on Radio. Teaching and Learning on Radio is a program that comes your way every weekday on Prestige FM and some other radio stations. And it's brought to you by the Ministry of Education right here in Niger State. We have lots of subjects that we treat every week, every day of the week. We always try to see how we can give the students at home another opportunity to learn while they are home. You know, the pandemic is everywhere. The coronavirus pandemic is everywhere. And so the shutdown and the closure of schools and companies actually made the students are at home right now. Those preparing for WAEC, NECO, and other examinations, I think it's an opportunity for them to stay at home and learn while listening to radio. The teachers, the facilitators will be right here in the studio with us. They will tell us about a particular subject. They look at a subject and a topic, and the phone line will be open for you to actually call in or probably send a message and ask your questions, and you will definitely learn something. So, well, it's for students at home, and it's brought to you by the Ministry of Education right here in Niger State. Teaching and Learning on Radio. Teaching and Learning on Radio it is. Well, today we have lots of things to learn, and we have our facilitator in the studio. You're welcome.
Good day, listener at home. I'm here to teach you mathematics, and the topic of the day is simultaneous linear equations. Before we start the topic of the day, let me bring your mind back to what you have learned in your GSS 2 called linear equation. You cannot proceed to learn simultaneous linear equation without having prerequisite knowledge of linear equation. Linear equation is an equation that have one unknown or one variables. Example is, if you are giving x plus 2 equals to 7, this is linear equation, or we call it equation of a straight line, or a straight line equation. So, if you have something of this nature, what you are expected is for you to find the value of unknown, and the unknown variable there is x. Without you solving this problem, you should know the number that will be added to 2 to give you 7. And the number is 5. But mathematically, if you have a linear equation of this nature, you have to make x the subject of the formula. And the rule is, if you are giving the addition and you are taking what you have at the right hand side to the left hand side, the sign will change. E.g., if you have this, your x now will be equals to 7 minus 2, which give you 5, mathematically. So, having now that, the topic of the day is simultaneous linear equation. We are going to achieve the meaning of simultaneous linear equation, solve problems on simultaneous linear equation, and as you are solving the problem in simultaneous linear equation, we are going to link you to various methods of simultaneous equation, such as substitution method, elimination method, graphical methods, as the case may be. Simultaneous linear equation, we said two equations with two variables is called simultaneous equation. For example, if you are asked to solve 2x plus y equals to -7 and x plus 3y equals to 4. This is what we call simultaneous linear equation. Why is linear? The highest power of each variable there is 1. If the highest power of each variable exceeds 1, it's no longer linear equation. It may be quadratic equation or cubic equation, and etc. Now we have linear equation, simultaneous linear equation on the board. Let me start by substitution method. Let me start by substitution method. If you are given two pairs of equation of this nature, first of all, you name your equation or you label the equation. That is, you have 2x plus y equals to -7. You take this to be your equation 1. Secondly, you have x plus 3y equals to 4. This now will be your equation 2. The next thing, again, you check your equation, the first equation and second equation. Which one is suitable for you to pick, for you to form your equation 3? You can form your equation 3 from equation 1 at the same time from equation 2. But let us look at the equation 1. The coefficient of x there is 2. The coefficient of y here is 1. And equation 2 also, coefficient of x is 1, coefficient of y is 3. So let me pick equation 2 to form my equation 3. And you can equally pick your equation 2 to form your equation 3. So you write form 3 from 2, meaning you are forming equation 3 from equation 2. Writing your equation 2 again, x plus 3y equals to 4. So here now, we can make y the subject of the formula or x the subject of the formula. But in a simpler way, let us make x the subject of the formula by applying the first rule you understand the linear equation. That is, x is equals to 4 minus 3y. As you are bringing 4 to the other side, the sign will change to negative. And now you have formed your equation 3. Having formed your equation 3, you can substitute. That is why we have the name substitution. You can substitute your equation 3 into equation 1 because the equation 1 is left over there. I have not made use of it. So, you now say put x equals to 4 minus 3y in 1, meaning in equation 1. So as you are doing this, you bring your equation 1 so that it will serve as guide for you. Now your equation 1, you say from 1. That is, from equation 1 you have 2x plus y equals to -7. So anywhere you see x in equation 1, you substitute it by 4 negative y. So here we have 2. You open a bracket and inside or put your 4 minus negative 3y. Then you are left with positive y equal to -7. Then you clear the bracket or you remove the bracket. How do you do that? The number you are having outside the bracket, you multiply it by each number you are having inside the bracket. You have 2 multiplied by 4, giving us 8. 2 multiplied by negative 3y, it will give you negative 6y plus y equals to -7. So the next thing is for you to collect the lag time. Collection of the lag time here, you can see that the negative y have a friend as y, and this one have its own friends here. We are coming to that. So 8 minus 6y plus y will give you -5y, which is equals to -7. Taking this 8 to the other side now, you are subtracting. That is, your -y, 5y, is equals to -7 minus -8. Collecting your lag time again, you have -5y equals to -15. Then you divide the both sides by -5. If you do that, you have -5y upon -5 equals to -15 upon -5. So this negative 5 cancel the negative 5 here. And negative 5 cancel 15, you are having 3. So therefore, our y is equals to 3. To obtain your x now, you go back to the equation. You can get the value of x by substituting y equals to 3 to any of the equation, not necessarily equation 1 or 2. Any of them can serve. So let me use equation 1. So I will now say substitute y equals to 3 in 1, meaning in equation 1. So bringing your equation 1, you have 2x plus y equals to negative 7. So anywhere you see y in this equation 1, you substitute it by what? 3. So therefore, you have 2x plus 3 equals to negative 7. And you are taking negative 7 now to the right to the other side, the sign will change to negative. So you have 2x equals to negative 7 minus 3. And 2x is equals to negative 10. And my x now will be equals to negative 10 divided by 2, which will give me negative 5. And the value of x and y now will give me negative 5 and 3. And that ends the substitution method. So as you are sitting down at home, don't deviate your mind to another direction. We are still going to use the same equation and use what we call our elimination method. We are going to use elimination method to solve the same equation. And let's see the result we are going to obtain. So, if you are using the elimination method, the first thing that you are going to consider, as usual, you name your equation as 1 and 2. Having labeled your equation as 1 and 2, you look at the coefficient of the variables there. So that if there is need for you to subtract the rate, the coefficient of x here is 2, x here is 1, x here is 1, and y here is 1, and y here is 3. So you can see that none of the coefficients is equal. And elimination method, you must make sure that one of the coefficients of the variable is equal before you proceed and subtract. Now, you rewrite your equation as 2x plus y equals to negative 7 and x plus 3y equals to 4. So look at the coefficient of x. Look at the coefficient of x in equation 2 is 1. You multiply it by equation 1. Look at the coefficient of x in equation 1 is 2. You multiply it by equation 2. If you do that, you multiply 1 by 2x, you have 2x. You multiply 1 by y, you still have y. Multiply y by negative 7, it will still give you negative 7. You multiply 2, but that from this point, the coefficient of one of the variable is equal, which is x. The coefficient of x here is 2 in equation 1. The coefficient of x in equation 2 also is also 2. So you can see that one of the coefficients is already equal. Then you can subtract equation 1 by equation 2. If you do that, you can see that 2x cancel 2x. You are left with y here. Your y, take this minus, then what you have here is positive 6y. Equals to, what you have here in equation 1 is negative 7. Take this minus, and what you have in equation 2 here is what? 8. Having done that, you now subtract y minus positive 6y, it will give you negative 5y, which is equals to negative 15. That is negative 7 minus negative 8, it will give you negative 15. For you to obtain your y now, you divide the both sides by negative 5. You have negative 5y upon negative 5 is equals to negative 15 upon negative 5. And as usual, negative 5 cancel negative 5. You are left with your y equals to negative 5, also cancel negative 15, which give you 3. So your y is equals to 3. So to obtain the value of x using the same equation, either equation 1 or 2, you can substitute y equals to 3 in 1 or 2. So you bring your equation 1, you have 2x plus y equals to negative 7. So anywhere you see y now, you put your 3. Therefore, you have your 2x plus, you have your what? 3 equals to negative 7. Bringing 7 to the other side, the sign will change to negative. You have your 2x equals to negative 7 minus negative 3. Negative 7, negative 3. So you have 2x equals to negative 10. And to obtain your x now, you divide the both sides by 2. You have 2x upon 2 equals to negative 10 upon 2. And negative 2 cancel 2, your x is equals to negative 5. And the value of x and y is still negative 5 and 3. Is it 3? Yeah. And that showed to us that the elimination method and substitution method, they are good method of simultaneous equation. And as a student, you are expected to know this, not only junior secondary school student, even the senior secondary school student, because this topic is being revised in SS3. It's revised in SS3. The only thing that is added to that SS3 is one linear, one quadratic. So as a student of junior secondary school, I urge you to go and practice simultaneous linear equation. In addition to this, sometimes question may be given to you in a fractional form. In a fractional form. Let me demonstrate that so that you can also have advantage of, you can achieve that also. Sometimes question may be given to you in this form. Solve 3 upon 4x plus 3 upon 5x equals to 4, and half x minus 3 upon 5y equals to negative 1. Sometimes question may be given to you in this form. You shouldn't be panicked as a student. What do you need to do? The question is given to you in a fractional form. You have to resolve your fraction. You convert the equation into linear, then you proceed. Like the first one you are having here, you find the LCM of the denominator. So the first question is 3 upon 4, x plus 3 all over 5, x equals to 4. The LCM is already 20. You are used to that right from primary school. So you multiply the both sides of the equation by 20. If you do that, you have 3 upon 4, x multiplied by 20, plus 3 upon 5x multiplied by 20 equals to 4 times 20. Then you cancel 4 by 20, you have 5. Then you multiply 5 by 3, you have 15x. Plus, you cancel 5 by 20, you have 4. 4 multiplied by 3, that is 12x, equals to 4 times 20 will give you 80. So this stands as your equation 1. You can see that it has changed to linear now. The same thing you are going to do to equation 2. In equation 2 you have, half x minus 3 upon 5 y equals to negative 1. The LCM of the denominator is 10. So you can have half of x times 10 minus 3 upon 5y times 10 equals to negative 1 times 10. So you cancel 2 by 10, give you 5. 5 times x, it will give you 5x. Minus 5 cancel 10, it will give you 2. 2 times 3 will give you 6. That is 6y, which is equals to Negative 1 multiplied by 10, it will give you negative 10. And this one serves as your equation 2. And from here now you're having the two linear equation. You can proceed by using substitution method or elimination method. But if we are to use the elimination substitution method now, you have to choose out of these two equations you are having. Which one are you going to pick to make x or y the subject of the formula? So if we are to use the substitution now, the substitution method to this question, I will now say from 3, from 2, from 3, from 2. And from 2 I have 5x minus 6y equals to negative 10. And my 5x is equals to negative 10 plus 6. And my x is equals to negative 10 plus 6 upon 5. And this will serve as my equation 3. Having formed my equation 3, I can substitute x equals to negative 10 plus 6 upon 5 into equation 1. So from equation 1, I have 15x plus 12x equals to 80. So anywhere I see x now, I substitute it by negative 10 plus 6 upon 5. So I have 15, open a bracket and put your x, which is negative 10 plus 6 upon 5. And plus 12x equals to 80. You can see that this 5 can cancel this 15 to give you 3. 5 cancel 15, give me 3. So I will now remove the bracket. By multiplying 3 by 10, I'll have negative 30. And multiply 3 by positive 6y to give me positive 18y plus 12y equals to 80. I will have my negative 30 plus 18 plus 12, that is 30. I'll have 30y equals to 80. Then for me to eliminate this, I can add 30 to both sides so that this one will be eliminated. So I will have 30y equals to 80 plus 30. And my 30y will be equals to 120. And my y now will be equals to 120 divided by 30. 0 cancel 0. 3 here, 1. 3 here is 4. So the value of y is equals to 4. And to obtain the value of x, I can substitute my value of y to any of the equations, either equation 1 or 2 or 3. So if I substitute y into equation 3 now, from equation 3, I have x equals to negative 10 plus 6 upon 5. And my x is equals to 6y, right? Then equals to negative 10 plus 6 times 4 upon 5. And my x is equals to negative 10 plus 24, which is equals to 5. If you remove 10 from 24, you are having what? That is 14. So my x is equals to, it's 14 upon 5, if I'm not mistaken. So, listener at home, you can use this two method of simultaneous equation to solve your problems at home. And again, I have some question for you to answer as you are sitting down at home. One of the question is, so solve the following pairs of simultaneous equation. One of the equation is a plus 2b equals to 13. 2a minus 3b equals to 5. And you can also view us through our WhatsApp number 09029282040. And again 09029282040. Thank you.
That was a wonderful presentation by our facilitator. He taught us a whole lot, and I learned as well, so I believe you've learned something this lovely edition of the program, Teaching and Learning on Radio. Well, join us again next time, that's tomorrow. Join us again and for another lovely edition of the program. You never can tell the subjects coming up, so just be on the lookout. And children out there, and not just children, parents, I urge you to encourage your children to listen to the program. As they stay at home, they learn as well. All right, thank you so much for watching and listening. Bye-bye.